All right, we're going to start with Louie Armstrong here. The significance of Louie Armstrong was that he had the ability to play the trumpet and was able to improvise music. He had the ability to play the trumpet and able to improvise music. When we look at jazz, what we need to know with jazz is that it was a hybrid of African American and European music forms. It was a hybrid of African American and European music forms. One more time. It was a hybrid of African American and European music forms. Now, the Scopes trial, this one could be a little confusing, but it was a clash between religion and evolution. It was a clash between religion and evolution. It was a clash between religion and evolution. Okay, the cultural split of the 1920s. A couple things here. The cultural split is between rural and urban Americans. It was between rural and urban Americans. Demand for automobiles. The demand for automobiles stimulated growth in many other industries. Stimulated growth in many other industries. The demand for automobiles demanded growth in other industries. Ford's manufacturing, the average price of a car decreased. The average price of a car decreased, or the sale price of cars went down. Sale price of cars went down. This also has a related question. The economy after World War I, because of manufacturing, had a brief recession followed by economic growth. It was a brief recession followed by economic growth. The 18th Amendment was repealed by the 21st Amendment. The 18th Amendment was repealed by the 21st Amendment, or the Prohibition, repealed the Prohibition. Organized crime. Prohibition. Growth in organized crime. Forced the police to enforce anti-liquor laws. It forced the police to enforce anti-liquor laws. Organized crime. It forced the police to enforce liquor laws. Convoys. Oh wait, I've skipped over farmers in the 1920s. Farmers in the 1920s, their income decreased because of crop prices. Their income decreased because of crop prices. Kind of a question like this on there twice. I already talked about organized crime. Whoops. Convoys. Prevented submarine. Man, I can't talk. Prevented submarine attacks. Prevented submarine attacks. Convoys prevented submarine attacks. Big stick diplomacy. Big stick diplomacy. Strong military to achieve goals. Strong military to achieve goals. A strong military to achieve goals. 1898 Treaty of Paris. You need to know the territories that this Treaty of Paris involved. And those territories are Cuba, Puerto Rico, Philippines, other Spanish territories. Cuba, Puerto Rico, Philippines, other Spanish territories. Platt Amendment. The Platt Amendment gave United States right to preserve oil. Order. Gave United States the right to preserve order. Gave the United States right to preserve order. Open door policy. Wanted open trade with China. Wanted open trade with China. And that would be the United States. Wanted open trade with China. Rough Riders. Volunteer Cavalry Unit. Volunteer Cavalry Unit. Volunteer Cavalry Unit in the Spanish-American War. In the Spanish-American War. Volunteer Cavalry Unit in the Spanish-American War. 1902 Coal Miners' Strike. Roosevelt threatened troops to take control. Roosevelt threatened troops to take control. Roosevelt threatened troops to take control. Woodrow Wilson ran for the Democratic Party. Ran for the Democratic Party. Woodrow Wilson ran for the Democratic Party. National Reclamation Act. Managed water. Managed water. National Reclamation Act managed water. 1909 Springfield Riot led to the formation of the NAACP. I'll say that again. Led to the formation of the NAACP. Led to the formation of the NAACP. 19th Amendment. Women's suffrage. 19th Amendment. Women's suffrage. Triangle Shirtwaist Factory resulted in workers' compensation laws. Resulted in workers' compensation laws. Resulted in worker compensation laws. Assassination. I'm going the wrong way. Assassination of Garfield. Assassination of Garfield. Oh, no, that's the term. Brought civil service reform. Brought civil service reform. Brought civil service reform. That was under Arthur. President Arthur. Booker T. Washington. Disagreed with equality timing. Disagreed with W.E.B. Du Bois over timing of equality. Disagreed with W.E.B. Du Bois over achieving equality. Now this is a little bit of an interesting question because it has Booker T. Washington, but it also has Du Bois in it. But you do need to know that they disagreed over the equality and how, whether it was the African Americans that should work for that or whether the nation should work for that. Jacob Riss called attention to living conditions in tenements. Jacob Riss called attention to living conditions in tenements. Called attention to living conditions in tenements. Advertising. Consumption patterns most influenced. Advertising most influence consumption patterns. Advertising most influence consumption patterns. Consumption means like what we buy. Advertising most influence consumption patterns. Steerage. Travel accommodations. Dirty, crowded, unhealthy. Dirty, crowded, unhealthy. Travel accommodations. Dirty, crowded, and unhealthy. ICC. Oversaw railroad operations. Oversaw railroad operations. Oversaw railroad operations. Sherman Antitrust Act. Limited large corporations. Limited large corporations. Limited large corporations. That is the last column.